No one likes a bully. And the problem with being a bully is that there's always a bigger bully. And in this case, that gets to be me. Hey everyone, it's Night Hero here. Guys, I was playing Dune Awakening the other day, and I've had this issue with several of my friends who don't like to PvP. For those who don't know anything about Dune Awakening, so basically what they have is the in-game area is divided into two. There's a line drawn on the map. It's not literally drawn, but there's a line where you cross over. Half of the map is PvP, half of the map is PvE. So generally in PvE areas, it's very hold hands, sing kumbaya. People help each other run through dungeons, which are called testing stations, and generally everybody's pretty cool. But the thing that seems to be happening with a lot of the community is you have a lot of these. So there's three kinds of spice flows: small, medium, and large, and they're taking out equipment that is generally designed for the large spice flows, which are only in the PvP area, and they're going to PvE areas, and they're going to the medium spice flows. Now, this is all well and good. Some of my friends do this. The issue that's coming around is that a lot of people are going to these medium spice flows with the large equipment, their sand crawlers and their caryopters, and they're going there to harvest, but they're harassing other PvE players. They're doing this by driving their vehicles over them. They're doing it by using the carrier to keep those people down so they can't fly up when a worm is coming. If you don't know what a worm does, it's the giant Shai Hulud, right, from the movies. And if it hits you, it'll destroy you and all of your stuff, and you can't recover it at all. All of your stuff is just gone. It's the only mechanic in the game, or one of the few mechanics in the game that will actually do that. So the worm is meant to be scary. It's meant to be terrifying. So these folks apparently decide that they can't get enough spice. They're afraid to go into actual PvP, so they just harass people that want nothing to do with PvE or PvP in the PvE zone. Gosh, that's going to get hard to say. And I have gotten reports from all kinds of friends from all different servers about how people are doing all kinds of mean things to them, okay? And this is, again, dropping on top of them, trying to keep them down in the sand, also keeping up, turning on their shield to attract the worm, putting down, doing all kinds of stuff. And basically, and some of, you got to realize that some of these people are grandmothers and great-grandmothers and grandfathers. These are not hardcore professional gamers here, okay, in a lot of situations. Some of them play games a lot, but they want to play a PvE game, and they're being harassed and basically being PvP'd in this situation. Well, the other day, this happened to me, and I could not have been happier that it happened to me. Now, so I was flying by, and it's funny because I actually saw somebody with a carrier and a sand crawler at a medium spice blow. And this was just after a server reset, so the spice was going off everywhere. And I thought about dropping down, but if you hand harvest at the same place that they're using a carrier, it's kind of annoying. You draw the worm way more, and it's kind of annoying for them. So I wanted to be polite, and I skipped that one, and I went to another one that there were already people at, and I knew there were people at, so there's less resources, but I'm doing a solid for the person in the carrier. At least that's what I thought. And in the crawler, let them do that. Because using a carrier and a crawler is just barely worth doing anyways, because it does put a lot of wear and tear on that equipment, and that equipment is expensive to make and to repair. Okay, so it's barely worth it anyways. But I want to leave them, so I go to the other one, and I land, and I'm confused because the worm keeps coming, and there's a lot of spice in the air, so I can't see. And I try to give the other person the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, are they not thinking and like harvesting spice with their shield on, which you don't want to do? It attracts the worm. And I eventually realize, no, they're just keeping their shield on. They're here to harass, grief, or drive off other people. And they'd actually already done that. Somebody had already left because of them. And it turned out, and I figured out pretty quickly, that they were with the other people, the sandcrawler, and they were just trying to guard all of the spice that was going off. Even though there was plenty all over the place, they were trying to guard and keep other people away. And honestly, I felt that this has been what's happening to my friends. And worse than this, where they try to make sure you get eaten by a worm, try to essentially PvP people in a PvE area that don't want anything to do with that. And it ruins people's fun is really my issue with it. Well, I'm the wrong person to try to bully because I play a lot of games. So I decided to give this back. And what I did is I made sure that they couldn't harvest any sand by keeping my shield on, making sure the worm was coming back. Also, they tried to keep me down, tried to make it where the worm would eat me. The thing is here, guys, is that the person that is just wants you not to be able to harvest sand is always going to win. Okay, a spice sand, they're always going to win in all these situations. A guide for those of you who haven't done this yourself. If you don't have anything else, turn your shield on. If you're out there harvesting naked, don't do that. You don't need to. It's a really bad idea. I don't know why people suggest that. You don't need to be naked. Yes, you can lose everything, but just wear cheap gear, guys. It's not a big deal. It's a lot better than don't go naked. It's not a good idea. Have a low-level shield. Have a low-level power pack. It's just the right move, okay? And for so many reasons. Trust me on this, okay? So don't go naked. Have a power pack. Also, if you can, bring a thumper. That's another way you can do this. You can place down a thumper, and that will keep causing the worm to come, and there's nothing they can do. So these guys fly up. We go back and forth. They leave and go to another location. And I kind of figure that that's what they're doing. I'm debating in my head if I should follow them. And you know what? I kind of want to teach people like this a lesson because this has been happening on all kinds of servers. So I follow them to the next location. I do the same thing, right? I want to prevent them. And I tell them when we're flying up, and I've done this with another group, is I tell them, listen, hey, if you just apologize, say you won't do it again, we're good. We can move on with our lives. And I mean that. That's what will happen. No one responds. No one wants to apologize. They then go to the PvP area. And I think they were trying to like sneakily rocket me, with some rocket thopters. I was stoked by that. So I go to switch vehicles because I'm ready to shoot some rockets too. I followed them. They decide better of going deep into the PvP area because they don't actually want to deal with anybody who can fight back. They don't want to deal with me either because I can fight back. So I follow them. They have to go all the way back to their home base and eventually give up on harvesting spice for the night because I'm following them around, making sure they can't do it. Guys, this is what will happen. All you got to do is be nice. If you want to harvest somewhere, if you want to share, just talk to people. But being a jerk is not the way to go about it, especially with people. If you're in PvP, do whatever you want. It's PvP. If I'm mad enough, I'll either kill you or try to, or fail trying. In which case, again, you can do whatever you want. That's totally cool. But harassing people in the PvE zone that are just trying to, get a little bit better gear and so that they can do testing stations easier, it's just being a jerk for no reason. Another story here is this happened to us on another time when again multiple people were harassing some of my friends, and we all got together and we decided we're just going to follow these guys around and make sure they can't harvest anymore. And they were being quite mean. So we actually at one point they had to drop their vehicle and we built a little shrine around it and we had a blast. We followed them around for a little bit less than an hour. And then we spent probably an hour and a half building a nice little shrine for the the place we had captured their vehicle in and built a house around. Guys, my suggestion is just be nice. Don't be like this. If you go up to a place and you talk to people, hey, can I harvest here? Hey, I'm going to share. Hey, I'm going to do this or whatever. Just don't be mean to people. There's no reason for it. We're just playing a game. And if you're the one harassing people and trying to drive them off of the spice sand, if they really want to, there's nothing you can do to be able to harvest if they don't want you to in the PvE areas. Okay? All you got to do, guys, is turn on your shield, make sure it's up. Don't panic when the worm comes. If someone gets above you and they're trying to keep you down, just use your jets and try to get out from underneath them and then go up. That's all you got to do. Just go left and right and then go up. If they're in a carrier, they cannot keep you down, okay? And if they're not in a carrier, they still can't anticipate all of your movements. Just hit your boosters, get out from under them. You're going to be okay. All right, they've changed the game in such a way that whenever you hit each other and collide, the reaction is such that you'll be able to get out from underneath them in pretty much all situations. If you're unsure of your ability, and I know many of you might be, call for some help. If you give me a thopter and tell me what siege server you're on, I will come out there and help you myself. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to get the word out that first off, don't be a bully. Games, IRL. It is hard to be nice. It can cost you things to be nice to somebody else. In game, it costs you nothing to be nice to someone. So when people are jerks to people in game, you really see what they're like on the inside, all right? And let's appeal to the angels of our better nature. And let's not be jerks to our fellow PvE players, since those have no interest in PvP, all right? There's just no reason for it. And, if you want to act like that, just realize that there are bigger bullies out there and we will come for you because there's not a whole lot to do in PvP right now. So I've got some free time on my hands.